Kaspa Mining is profitable. It's very profitable. Over the last year, at one point, it was the second most profitable coin to mine. Yes, second to only Bitcoin. Now it's ranked third. It is behind Bitcoin as well as Dogecoin mining profitability. However, Kaspa is newly ASIC mined. Basically what that means is there's a lot of new miners that are kind of expensive, but incredibly profitable. This cryptocurrency, as far as its market cap is concerned, has taken the world by storm. It's a top 50 coin, and many people believe in its technology more so than just its price appreciation and mining profitability and the hype that surrounds it. If Kaspa and their KAS token can truly establish staying power, this will be a crypto to be reckoned with from a usability point of view. But what's even more interesting to me, hi, by the way, my name is Vosk. You're on the VoskCoin YouTube channel. As a miner, is going to be an incredibly profitable coin to mine. This is a cryptocurrency that's putting out over $500 million of newly mined coins per year. Do you understand? This is a $500 million industry to attack. Only in crypto does that kind of randomly pop up. So today we're going to be digging deeper into the current miners for Kaspa, a little bit about some of the past miners and their performance, what miners are being currently manufactured, what does their mining profitability look like, and one of the biggest selling factors, if you will, of Kaspa mining is the high profitability versus the low energy cost. These miners, while they're not particularly energy efficient compared to other mining rigs, they are so profitable that you just don't really care about your electricity bill. But that's the reason that some of them carry a price premium. So let's dig into these different models and some exciting news. Well, to some people, news? Something like that, news. And that news is the Goldshell KA Box Pro. Whether you wanted a new miner or not, personally, I am mentally and financially exhausted with all of these new releases.
I am never going to financially recover from this.
But the KA Box Pro has just been announced. It is 1.6 terahash at 600 watts. Offhand, this is a miner that will make about $10 a day, and it will cost a couple $1,000s. It was only a couple months ago that the original Goldshell KA Box mini Kaspa miner for at-home mining was released. They also have yet to release their full-size miner. This miner was making $8 a day just a month ago. And this new miner is about 0.5 terahash a second faster, which results in higher mining profitability. The bottom line is, when you look at mining profitability calculators, you will see K-heavy hash topping the charts, really across the board. K-heavy hash is Kaspa's mining algorithm, and Kaspa is by far the most notable cryptocurrency on that mining algorithm. If you have the KS0 Pro, the KS5, you'd still be pulling in $80 a day. Kaspa has pulled back from its all-time high. It's down 40% from its all-time high 3 months ago. So these are very high profit numbers given the current price of the cryptocurrency. Personally, I believe Kaspa will hit a new all-time high in the future, probably over the next year. I don't know for sure though, right? But I'm hedging my personal bets accordingly. In addition to the incredibly profitable and expensive Antminer KS5s, which we'll talk about more later, there is the new KS5L, which, while not as efficient, is undercutting this price point significantly. And then there is the IB-Link BMKS Max, which has been hard to source, but I actually have shipping confirmation for mine right now.
Great success.
Which is exciting. There's also the older KS3s, which was the best miner in the world when it came out, and it only came out less than a year ago, which is crazy to see how fast this ecosystem moves. You go down that list and you see a lot more Kaspa miners, and you go down even further, you will find more of them, like the KA Box is projected to mine about $4 a day right now. So maybe the KA Box Pro is really going to be making like $6.50 a day with that hash rate boost. My miner actually never performed as good as it was supposed to, and it runs very hot too. So the BMKS Max is a Kaspa miner from IB-Link, a manufacturer, and these are coming in around $10,000. The other new, very exciting, produced in volume and very expensive Kaspa miner is the KS5L. This is coming in at 14 grand. and I have just gotten shipping confirmation from Coin Mining Central for mine. So we work with them as an affiliate, stuff like that. I got a coupon code out down below. I've got coupon codes to a lot of ASIC miner sellers and sites and stuff. It's an incredible way. I would really appreciate if you take the time to support our channel and support yourself by securing those savings. We negotiate with these people to get the best coupon codes possible, and we take the time to look into these companies, these businesses, and we try to bring you the best options we possibly can, because I've been scammed before, and to be honest, this is kind of obvious, but it sucks. So if we take a glance at some of my mining profitability, we look at my Antminer KS3 pulling about 40 bucks a day, my KS3M doing about $21 a day, and then my KS2 doing about $10, $11 a day. And then I have my little mini miners, my KS0 Pro, my KS0, my other KS0 Pro. And unfortunately, the overclock seems to have killed my third KS0 Pro. So I will be very cautious overclocking miners moving forward. Also, after overclocking, a couple months later, my KS3M has lost one of its hash boards. So in a miner, there's normally 3 hash boards. These are like the 3 pieces of your mining engine, if you will. And if you lose one, well, you will lose 1/3 of your mining power. Previously, on the old firmware, Ice River miners that had a bad chip or something like that, they would go down, the whole miner would go down, or the whole board would go down. They released updated firmware, so if you're having problems or instability with your miners, make sure to update to a newer firmware. If you want to grab that firmware, you can go to Ice River's site and head over to their firmware section, or it's even easier just to go to iceriver.io/firmware-download. And if you want, I'll drop that link below. But yeah, it's here on the screen as well. But the bottom line is, this miner has had stability problems. KS3M is basically overclocked from the factory. I overclocked it, had a lot of problems, brought it off the overclock, and now it will randomly lose hashboard 1. You'll see that it also performs worse. I've got to manually restart the miner once that happens. So, kind of sucks, but you swim in the deep end, you might drown. It's the sad reality of it. Maybe that was a little too dark and morbid. Either way, it's up for 3 days, which is longer than normal before it crashes, so that's cool.
Hey guys, it's Miss Vosk here to tell you about today's video sponsor, FastX. FastX is a Web3 platform where users can buy, sell, and exchange their tokens. They also have other features like their NFT marketplace, wallet, raffles, and more. They have their own token and blockchain in mainnet currently, Bahamut, and are looking for validators to ensure the network is secure. To become a validator, users stake their FTN tokens and set up a validator node. One way you can do this is through Lolic's staking pool, which is the largest FTN staking pool currently. To learn more about becoming a validator, check out the link in the video description below. This is not financial advice. Please do your own research.
We'll bring it back to the miners, but I want to talk about something important. It is the emission schedule. So basically, Kaspa halves annually, but it steps down 1/12 of that mining output, roughly, every month. So every month, you'll make less with Kaspa no matter what. So the next reduction is on the 5th, and it will be reduced to 103 coins per block, down from 110. And you can see it goes down about like 5 coins after that. And these are substantial reductions. And that, along with the current price point, is why it's not an emission of $2 million a day like it was previously. The coin is down and the emission is down, and the emission will never go back up. This is programmed. This is in the blockchain technology, or BlockDAG, right? Technology. But either way, $1 million a day in newly mined coins is a lot of profit to be had. You go past Bitcoin Cash, and you could pretty much roll the next 20 coins up, and all of that daily emission would still not really equal Kaspa's daily emission. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of coin. It supports a big mining ecosystem. That's why these manufacturers are constantly sold out. They're making as many miners as they possibly can and trying to sell them for as much as they possibly can. So as a miner, I'm trying to figure out what price point can I get into these miners and realistically, hopefully, make a good return, because mining is turning my electricity into coins. I'm buying coins at a discount, but I've got to buy these miners up front. That's, is it really worth it? By the way, I clicked over to show you the miner models for Ice River. This is ASIC Marketplace. We do have an affiliate code and coupon code with them down below. But the key note here is that they're selling the KS3M as well as other Ice River models. And Ice River is consistently sold out on their site. They would rather deal in bulk. So big mining farms and big mining resellers are buying up a bunch of these and then slinging them to us. Ice River in particular doesn't actually offer that good of prices direct anyway, especially for smaller orders. So you will actually oftentimes get as good of a deal as buying directly from them, if not a better deal buying from a miner reseller. So let's start breaking down these models and kind of bring it back to mining profitability and go from there. So let's look at the Kaspa miners. So we can see the KS5 for a ridiculous price of $34,000, or you can get a future order of the KS5 Pro for less than half the price. But this is an ETA of shipping in August, and if you have, Bitmain has a stupid coupon system where you've got to spend like $1 million to maximize the coupon returns. But the bottom line is, if you can do that, you can get these around $10,000. Then you look at the current KS5, we could give that to you somewhere between 34 and 24 grand. How the f do we step up and down 10 grand? Mining prices right now are insane. We're not even in a parabolic crypto bubble, and the prices are truly nauseating. It's just greed. It's not fun. It's taken just the joy of mining away, and it's making it very speculative and very risky. It's just frustrating. But for the price of some lower end new cars, you could be earning $80 a day after you pay a 10 cent per kilowatt hour electricity bill. That translates to basically $8, $7.50 a day. So just something that you can understand and be aware of. And I mean, that's actually like a $90 a day mining profitability. And if you got this thing right when it came out, it was pulling, $225 back then. But there have not been all that many of these made, and they were technically released in March, just so you're aware of that. Let's look at the miner that is very, very popular right now and incredibly difficult to get at a lower price point. That's going to be the KA Box. So these things sell out instantly from Goldshell, and some people think they're doing like fake listings and stuff like that. Knowing their business practices, it's possible, truly. But you'll see a price like this. Good luck getting that price point. Realistically, you're going to pay around $2,000 or so for the KA Box, which means that the KA Box Pro is probably going to be priced at like $2,800 or so. So the KA Box is, again, the previous model. And let's look at the exact mining profitability, because I've got mine running right here. You can see my 24-hour hash rate is 1.15 terahash a second. This has never been as good as it's supposed to be. With that in mind, we're mining about 44, let's be positive here, 45 coins a day. So if we're mining 45 coins a day, we're mining $5.24 worth of Kaspa. But how much am I spending to operate something like this? At a 10 cent per kilowatt hour electricity rate, right? Just take your bill and look at how many kilowatt hours you're using, and then divide your bill by that, and you will get whatever your number is. Keep in mind, if your bill is low due to the charges they put on your bill, the admin fee, the meter fee, stuff like that, you've got to spend several $100s before you get towards your real kilowatt hour rate, right? Like if my electric bill is $100, my rate is about 14 cents per kilowatt hour. If my electric bill is $4,000, I'm getting 10 cents per kilowatt hour. Maybe that was an extreme jump. I get towards my 10 cent rate, around a couple $100s, several $100s. But the bottom line is, for this miner, it cost me about $1 a day to run. It mines $5. I'm pooling $4. This profitability calculation is pretty much in line. I'm slightly beating that, which is good. We want to talk about other things that are crazy. The fact that GME is up 200%, which is some GameStop token that just came out of freaking nowhere. Not shilling it, not endorsing it. I just think that, welcome to crypto, right? And GameStop, the actual stock, is of course pumping in line with this as well. So we're in a really weird period where we're like kind of in a crypto bull run, but we're kind of not. And most altcoins have not hit all-time highs. Also, that's a great website name. That's funny. But I bring this up in particular, one, because it's interesting, funny, recent, and a bit newsworthy, right? But I want to illustrate the really weird state of market we're in. if things go crazy, miner prices will double, triple, possibly even, like, it sounds ridiculous, but 10x, much like the coins. So it's a weird period of FOMO. There's a lot of miners, right, that are making a lot of money, a lot of coins mined per day. And I talk a lot about the money in the USD, but USD is trash. Let's get that straight. But the bottom line is, you're buying these miners priced at dollars. It's easy to look at the profitability per dollars. I hodl all of the coins I mine still. So I'm more interested in how many coins I'm mining and then hopeful future price appreciation. The point I'm really trying to make here is that miners will become just absurdly priced if the market really takes off and we enter like the bubble type bull run. I hope we will enter that crazy bull run because it brings all kinds of exciting opportunities. I have slowed down the expansion of my mining farm, but I am still actively expanding, especially with new miners and also trying to get stuff into review here on the VoskCoin YouTube channel. But when I cut that off and I look just a more pragmatic mining farm operator point of view, I am slowing down, but still expanding because many of these miners still have very good returns, in my opinion, even at their higher price points. So really, the best Kaspa miners right now are just going to depend on your budget, right? And so you look at like the KA Box. I mean, Kaspa's kind of established at this point, as far as like network hash rate goes, right? Because ASIC miners came out and then they brought the network up to about 1 petahash a second, and it's about where 2 miners starts tracking it. So it was about 1 petahash a second. It's become 254 times more difficult to mine Kaspa coins, and that's all the while the amount of Kaspa coins mined per day has been cut in half because it's been a year. So that makes it exponentially harder. These new miners that are coming out are not moving mountains with the network hash rate, right? The KS3M by Ice River has been out for quite a while, and it's still a very profitable machine. Even after paying my electricity bill, when the third hash board stays up, I'm pulling about 20 bucks a day with this thing. It is absolutely a passive income cash cow. Let's speed run some models. The Ice River KS0 is no longer produced. They don't really seem to produce any more batches of the KS1 or the KS2. They also do not, to my knowledge, really produce the KS3 or the KS3L, specifically all the Ice River models there. Bitmain is not producing their Antminer KS3 miners anymore either. So Bitmain's making the KS5 and the KS5 Pro, the biggest, the baddest, and the most expensive by far. Ice River has just started shipping the Ice River KS5L. The KS5L is going to be, in my opinion, from what I see, the successor to the KS3M. It will be a less efficient than model of the Antminers, but you're going to get better bang for buck on your hash rate. So if you have a decent electricity rate, the KS5L is probably going to be the go-to miner, but it's very expensive. It's very expensive right now. I really want to see that price point come down for many obvious reasons. The KS5, everyone's priced out of it. You've got to order those things by the millions of dollars, and then just being it for the long haul, banking on that density. The KS5s really, they just don't make too much sense to me. If you're gonna buy at that volume, you probably got a great rate, and you would just go for something that gives you more hash bang for buck. The best small mini Kaspa miner was the KA Box. I guess it's gonna become the KA Box Pro, depending on that price point. But you look at how much money you're projected to make over the next year. It's still gonna take you like 1 to 2 years if nothing changes, which is never the case, to break even. The KS0 Pro was such a cool miner, and they know that. That's why they did a freaking commemorative edition. Depending on when you bought it, where you bought it, you get this thing for about 400 bucks shipped. And it was profitable. And it has been profitable, and it's been a good miner historically, but at this point, it's just outdated. It's just not good enough. I don't think they're going to make this anymore. I think that they knew this was their final send-off version. I think that they've got a better chip, and they're going to start doing a KS0 Pro. Right? And you're like, dude, that sounds ridiculous. And I'm like, welcome to ASIC miner names, okay? They are ridiculous, and they make no sense, and they're hard to follow, and it's confusing. But in all seriousness, I think they're gonna drop a new mini miner, or maybe make it a little bit more dense, somewhere between a KS0 Pro and a KS1. I don't know, but I think it's too late to grab those. They were really cool starter miners for a period, but just like everything in the mining game, at some point, mining hardware just simply becomes obsolete. It's inefficient. It's just not the right play anymore. So unfortunately, the best mini starter miner is looking like this one. I wouldn't be surprised if IB-Link drops some kind of little competitor Kaspa box miner as well. And I'm still really curious to see the full-size industrial Goldshell ASIC miner as well. That has been coming out soon for several months now. What's even more ridiculous about the KA Box Pro is when you really kind of focus on it and look at it and zoom in, your eyes are not deceiving you. There's an additional PCIe port. So understand that, be aware that many power supplies that you may think you would use for this, because we have never seen a box style miner like this with 3 PCIe ports. It's always 2 or even 1. You need to be prepared for that. So basically the KA Box is just adding more juice to it. We could even make an assumption that it's the same rig, just overclocked more. You overclock it more, it will consume more power and have a higher hash rate. That may not necessarily be true, but it's close enough. So anyway you slice it, Kaspa Mining is very profitable. It is a big mining sector to go after right now. If you're not mining Bitcoin, you're looking at mining Dogecoin and you're looking at mining Kaspa. This is a current snapshot of the landscape, what the prices look like for these miners. And really just to round it out, if my budget was lower and or I wanted a small miner that was quiet, I'm looking at the Goldshell KA Box / KA Box Pro. There may be a good buy opportunity for simply the KA Box with the stock of those as they transition to the KA Box Pro. I don't think they're going to continue to make both. That's not really how they have done things historically. What sucks is there's no miner for a couple hundred or several $100s that's worth buying right now for Kaspa. The KA Box Pro, again, it's going to be a couple $1,000s, maybe $3,000. Looking beyond that, if you have cheap electric, the KS3M is still a very profitable machine. It still could absolutely be worth grabbing, depending on your electric rate and your goals and your budget. That's coming in around $6,000, and that price should creep down. Above that is going to be the KS5L. That's going to become the new go-to miner. If you're like, I got budget, I'm serious about Kaspa mining, most people are going to be grabbing the KS5Ls, I think. Again, the KS5 Pro, it just prices itself out of the market. So we'll see what they do with that. I'm surprised that Bitmain has not been pricing their miners more aggressively. Maybe they just don't care, they're focused on other things, or it's really always hard to understand these mining manufacturers. If we look at the BMKS Max, which had mixed reviews out of the gate. You look at the BMKS Max and it comes in at an interesting price point between the KS3M and the KS5L. If you look at just price and bang for buck, the IB-Link BMKS Max is actually one of the best bang for buck Kaspa miners. So I'm very curious to get one of those in hand and see how it performs. They have also not been able to meet the demand for that miner. Everything I've heard is that obviously demand is huge, price is good, but the production is just it's just not there. They're just not able to make that many of them. So that's the scoop. You're on the VoskCoin YouTube channel. Let's close this out with 10 seconds of Tail. She's our CKO, our Chief Kaspa Mining Officer here at the VoskCoin YouTube channel. Mining's crazy, crypto's crazy, and the market has been really sideways the past couple months too. So cryptocurrency continues to grow. I continue to believe in it more and more. It's not going away, but it is absolutely always changing shape. So I hope I can make some of the best videos out there. If you enjoy the content, please subscribe and stick around. When I go into making these videos, one of my main goals is just like, how can I try to condense a bunch of information? How can I condense hours and hours and hours of research and try to bring you something bite-sized? Or maybe, some of these videos are a little longer, maybe they're more like a meal. But you can sit down and in 15, 20, 30 minutes, get totally up to speed on some specific subjects, right? Knowledge is power. The more I learn, the more I can earn. And that's the mindset I always try to just maintain and push. So I'll stop talking. Thanks for being here. Hope you have a good day.